So here's the thing with Gundam Quacks, episode 5. It be messed up. You end last week introducing death a lot sooner than I think many of us were expecting, especially when you consider, how long it took the last Gundam series to get into the more intense, that it was a nice slow burn before characters lost their mind. No, this one said no. Not only are we gonna say, for the viewers, their reaction will be like, did they really need to kill that mom? The characters themselves are saying they didn't need to kill that mom. But hey, you know what? Maybe it's just Shuji being a little crazy, a little tapped into the Gundam, right? Like, it's just like, that's how it is, right? But then again, you had Machu saying like, damn, if I want to get with this boy I like, I need to kill too. Which was questionable, but hey, maybe she's just a little too horny for her own good. Oh no, they're all screwed in the head. Nien killing this episode. This Kira out-of-body experience where time seems to slow down and you can just dance around and cut people apart. Apparently Kira is just code for psycho murderous intent. And the look that Machu gives at the end of the episode, I wanted to see, like, am I the only one feeling? Currently people are like, damn, we all thought Machu was going to be the crazy one, but it's actually Nien. I don't know if people are watching a different show than me, but Machu seems like the craziest one out of the batch. Everyone else comes from war-torn areas. I kind of understand why they have screws loose and murder maybe is a little more in their ballpark. Does it excuse it? No, but it makes sense. This girl grew up in the most peaceful area known to man, has no reason, and she's like, she's stealing my boyfriend. That was supposed to be, and I'm like, oh my god. If there's ever been a need for an adult, it's this show. Jesus! Fantastic episode, but these kids got many of screws loose. I got full live reactions over on my Patreon. Of course, you want to support my work, see my full thoughts over there exclusively. So, I'm liking this. I am. Very different than the past couple of TV Gundam series that have come out, but I think that's good. Even if it doesn't turn out to be like my favorite out of like the modern Gundam series, I still am enjoying this quite thoroughly. The overall story being that, like, okay, we want to win enough of these battles, get enough money, and go to Earth. Like, that's their game plan. Obviously, things probably won't go exactly according to plan, or once they get to Earth, it won't be what they wanted. As you have a girl like Machi who feels like she really hasn't had that enjoyable life, doesn't really fit in, and now she's kind of in this new group, right? And obviously there's going to be bigger political stories at play along the way, but currently that's what we're focusing on. And I do like that they established that, like, hey, they all are like, they were a little concerned about Machi because they're like, hey, she doesn't come from war-torn areas, so she's probably pretty shook seeing us kill, right? Like, they acknowledge, like, hey, like, we're kind of used to death, so it is what it is. No, she was fine. She really was. Like, she was a little, like, thinking of it, but she didn't have a normal reaction. Let's just put it like that. And the idea that, like, there's as much of a chance that Machu at some point in the show stabs a bitch because she gets jealous as it is that she just becomes the most murderous of them all and says, no, I'm the one who kills all the pilots. And I don't know which one they're going to commit to. It's interesting because the guy who, from episode 3, I think it was, give or take, in that area, might have actually been earlier than that. But anyway, we jumped over him, we stole his shit, and he's basically like, hey, this might be the girl I'm looking for. So as, we have the immigration officers, the douchebag ICE agents, we kick him in the nuts and then we flee, but obviously he keeps us in the locker because he's like, this might be the girl I'm looking for. So if the quacks doesn't come out, this is clearly the girl I'm looking for. But if it does, well, then he's a little shit out of luck. So the idea that basically Nien had no choice other than to try to pilot it. And the fact that Shuji ends up getting a fever. So the whole episode, I just thought he was overly horny for no reason. Apparently he was like feverish, which I guess explains the more like the flustered face and stuff. The others were just absolutely horny, so there's no excuse there. They were just pent up out of their mind. So basically it was all on her. And I like how it wasn't an immediate win either. Like, she was very sluggish with it. And it's interesting because, like, the overall base controls were seemingly easy enough for her, but the actual combat stuff wasn't. And this whole, like, Kira tap into the Gundam's consciousness out-of-body experience. It's like you looked into the center of the universe and the truth of the creation is now standing before you. Because the way it seemingly happens is like you almost lose control but gain more control, if that makes sense. Like you lose your main control of like what you think you want to do in favor of what the Gundam itself is like, no, this is what we're going to do. Oh, a sword swing or an axe is about to hit you, you just casually dodge that like you're, in the Matrix. It's just like, it's so interesting, but seemingly every time that happens, that's when the murder gonna kick off. And I'm so interested to see what's gonna happen long term, not only with that, because I'm assuming that shit's gonna tie back to Char somehow, but also what it might do to the character's mental states long term. But either way, like, in terms of long-term narrative, I see a lot of potential with this one, especially because we literally have a group of kids who, and I say this a lot in shows, whether it's a show like Windbreaker, whether it's a show like this, you don't need fights, you need therapy. You need an adult, you need actual emotional guidance. But instead, we're killing people for fun and money. Entertainment value, it's damn good though. So I'm interested what it's gonna look like long term, but yeah, I got a bad feeling, especially for a character like Machu. Everyone currently, seemingly, I mean, granted, the episode did just come out, but everyone's like, oh man, we all thought it was gonna be Shuji or Machu was gonna be the psycho, but it's actually Nian. No, in my opinion, the collective group is probably equally unhinged just because they grew up in war-torn areas, so they're like kind of okay with killing. Machu seems like the craziest one to me. And I feel like I'm the crazy one even saying that, but like her faces, her desires, she grew up in a peaceful area and she just wants to kill because she wants to get with a boy. This is the craziest love triangle, man. Like this is built different. But that was messed. Where we go from here, I have to imagine within 2, maybe 3 episodes, they should have enough battles done to have the funds they need. No, I don't think they've even touched upon how many episodes this will be. I kind of assume it's just Gundam is now in a new era where it'll just be 2 course total rather than what it used to be, which was 4. I personally prefer 4 because I think you can flesh it out a lot more. Hell, I'd even take a 3-course series, but either way, as long as this one isn't just 12 episodes and we're done, I suspect this one will stand out among all the recent Gundams as being at least worthwhile and very enjoyable at the very worst. Your thoughts? Who's currently the craziest character in your opinion? Because you definitely know my thoughts. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on my Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Wendy, Thomas Koza, Robert Franklin, John Menger, Gabor Tim, Ocean Liao, Corey M, Andres Pros, Dustin Stack, and we also have Shorts Valorant. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Y'all have a good one.